Yo, what's with Fish with another momentous issue of Maplestory M videos. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for hanging out and checking out my content. Guys, this is the biggest update to ever come to Maplestory M. No clickbait, no jokes. It is huge. It's so huge. And I'll tell you why. Legendary stones are finally coming to the Gold Leaf shop for the very first time since the game came out. Why is that so important? Well, I'll tell you why. A lot of you guys have been following my videos since day one. Since I've told you, find a PBA, find a perfect base attack weapon. Rank it up, get it up there. And we've seen the difference between a crappy attack weapon and a big attack weapon. And now, we finally get to live to see that weapon become mythic for the very first time. The game's been utterly broken before this time. And it never really occurred to me how broken it was. But you know I've been crying a little bit. Crybaby fish all the time. Top 10 video you saw last week. Things I'd like to change in Maplestory. One of them was bring the Gold Leaf shop some legendary stones. And I never really realized how important that update was. It was one of the main reasons why so many people left the game. It was a really broken aspect of the game, because if you were like me and you lucked into getting an emblem weapon, well, you were locked out of getting that weapon into Mythic. You were locked out of getting that weapon Mythic. That sucks, right? Big time, man. I mean, your gear dictates the maps that you're able to farm on, and you could farm better and harder than anybody else in the game. But if you had an emblem weapon or a PBA weapon, you could not rank that weapon beyond legendary, unless you were a whale, of course. And my guides and my playstyle, it's more geared towards somebody who's a free-to-play anyways. If you're a whale, you can buy anything you want in the game, but whales exist because free-to-plays chase them, because they nip at their heels, because they farm and grind a million hours. So the whales, well, they spend a couple bucks. They don't have to keep up with the free-to-plays. Free-to-plays chase the whales spend the money to keep ahead of free-to-plays, and the world makes sense. Well, that world didn't make sense up until this update. And it's been a huge impact to the game. Maplestory's always been about grinding. You want something in the game, you grind for it. Well, taking a look at the different things to do, especially looking at the non-map training things to do, we see very quickly that whether it's Net's Pyramid or Lord Pyro PQ or even expeditions after you got your boss set of gears, which most people do, it's all about the leaves. We're talking like 40%, almost half of the PQs and dailies that we have to do are related to gold leaves. I scratched my head for a long time, wondering where all the active players were. Why aren't you logged in playing the game? Well, if there's no reason, well, let's take it backwards. Let's say you want a mythic and you're free to play. There was only one way for you to get a mythic. It was to take a max legendary weapon and fuse it with a max legendary weapon, cross your fingers and get a random mythic weapon. In most cases, it's going to be crappy attacks, it's going to be crappy type of weapon. It's not going to be emblem. You are left with a random decision. That whole control what you want to get in the game. The whole I'm getting a PBA, I got an emblem, I want to rank it up to mythic, was not possible. It wasn't possible. Therefore, the leaves that you would use, the leaves you would grind for, the gears you would grind for by making alts, which you would extract into leaves, they were pointless. Because if your mythic is going to be random, well, it doesn't matter what two legendaries you max out to fuse together to get the random mythic. And if it doesn't matter what two legendaries you max out to get the random mythic, well, it doesn't really matter what unique you get to max out, to fuse together, to get the legendary, to fuse together, to get the mythic. Therefore, all of the items in the Gold Leaf shop, they're worthless. I mean, the best, most obvious items that are worth paying for and acquiring leaves for are the stones to rank up your gear. But if you can't rank up your gear to Mythic, and you can't choose what gear you're going to rank up to Mythic, and you can't decide to rank up your gear to Mythic in any other way than fusing two random pieces together, this entire shop has been useless. 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 And so has 50% of the daily PQ content, the dungeons and that kind of stuff. Oh man, it's been a dead zone for Nets, and it's one of my top 10 things. Change the items in Nets. Well, I didn't really realize that you don't really need to change the items in Nets. That'd be nice to get some better stuff with the chaos. Just need to make leaves worth farming for. Oh, and boy, does that extrapolate out to the rest of the game as well. The whole game becomes alive again, guys. When you can decide to start with a normal PBA, rank it up to rare and epic and unique and legendary, and then finally mythic, the entire game starts to make sense. You can start working towards your maple tree, getting all those characters up to level 100 and 120 and 150, getting those points. More importantly, you can grind on those alts. And in my top 10 video, when I talked about manual drops, well, those manual drops are kind of taken care of when we can run EDs all day on all of our alts. The entire game expands out when I can acquire gears and then extract those gears into leaves, when I can grind my butt off, not just for XP and leveling up, but for actual items that turn into the best gear in the game, or that I make gear from and I sell it in the trade station. The whole game comes alive again. Man, I didn't realize how important it was that we were able to decide our future and our fate on our gear. I didn't understand how important it was for those leaves to be able to purchase legendary stones. I didn't understand how broken the game was when we couldn't rank up a PBA to mythic, and we couldn't rank up an emblem to mythic. The whole game was broken. No wonder people left the game and stopped playing. No wonder Nets was a ghost mine. What's a ghost mine? Remember? No wonder why Pyro PQ was empty. There's no reason in farming this content or farming for leaves. Even expeditions were difficult to get teams for a lot of players in the game. Of course they were. Nobody cared about the leaves beyond getting the boss set. The whole game was broken. When you go to Korea and Japan, you probably don't know those versions of the game. Leaves are very important. And I guess we're getting more stuff in the shop for leaves in the near future as well. But most importantly, we could finally complete that gear set. We could finally take that legendary gear and grind and grind and grind and grind for gears to extract and acquire leaves. We can grind for our achievements for leaves. Grind for our dailies for leaves. We can grind our nets and our expeditions and our power PQ for leaves. We can finally grind to get our mythic weapon and our mythic gear. What I want to know is, what do you think the cost of legendary stones are going to be in the gold leaf shop? Now, I'm not going to post a picture that has been confirmed to be fake by the person who originally posted it a long time ago. I think I saw that picture. But the picture shows that the cost of legendary stones are going to be 16,000 leaves. I think that's wrong. I think it's way too cheap. I think in order to respect the money and the whales that have spent money on those gears and those stones, and I think in order to prevent another tier of gear beyond mythic, and I know we still have exaltation and emblem upgrades, but I really think those stones should require a massive sweaty grind. I think they should be like 30 to 50,000 each stone minimum, in my opinion. Don't blame me for it. Maybe I'm wrong, alright? At 16k, I don't really care. That's what the guy's picture said, 16,000. I think it's wrong. Let me know in the comments below what you think the price of legendary stones are going to be. I have no idea. We're going to find out very quickly. The updates probably drop it in a couple of days. I know we also have some mini games coming. We'll go through the entire patch notes. They come out for another video on the day of. I am so excited about this update, guys. I hope that people understand the impact this is going to have on active gameplay, because it's no wonder this game devolved into people logging in, setting their autoplay, maybe completing a couple of EDs, maybe putting their buffs on and logging back off for 6 hours. It's no wonder the game came to that. because that's what the game asked us to do. It was a huge elephant in the room, and you know what? I didn't discuss it a lot because I didn't really realize the impact of not being able to rank all of our gears up all the way by choice. I didn't realize we were losing out by not having all of that content, all those PQs, all those dailies be relevant. By making them irrelevant, it means that we didn't want to do them, and it means we didn't do them. That's why we weren't getting the nice cues. By making every single result of fusion random, it meant that there was no point in us using valuable gold leaves to rank up a weapon that was inevitably going to become a random weapon anyways. Might as well just rank up regular weapons and fuse them together, and that's why we didn't spend the leaves, and that's why we didn't even farm the leaves. The leaves were valueless. So for the people who have been grinding leaves this entire time, well, you, my friends, are going to be in for a very, very easy road trip. I think it's because there's some people that have been grinding for quite some time. The leaves aren't going to be very cheap for stones, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm really curious to see the price of the legendary stones. Whatever they are, don't complain. Get excited. I want to see you actively in the game. Let's hang out on the stream. Let's grind together. Maplestory M has become a legit active game with things that you can get and attain purely by grinding in the game. So work hard, grind hard, baby. I'm so excited for this update. I'm so excited for these legendary stones for leaves. This changes everything. I hope a lot of people come back to the game and take a look at the game as we get more characters, more classes, more PQs, more bosses. Cygnus is right around the corner. We know that. CRA is coming. There's a whole lot of other content. This game becomes a lot more complete this week when your PBA gets to rank up to Mythic, when your emblems get to rank up to Mythic, when you can grind on alts, complete that maple tree, get ready for link skills because you know they're coming. They're already in Korea. And extract those leaves, get those leaves, do those dailies, grab those stones, baby. Upgrade that gear. Make your favorite, bestest gear. It's the time for it to happen. I'm so excited, man. Of course, you can hear it. I'm always excited about Maplestory M, but I've given so much to the community in the game. We're small, we're tiny, and quite frankly, we lost a lot of people in the game. A lot of people lost the lust and the love and all that kind of stuff, and I'm pretty sure it was because this game just kind of cut people off. They told people, stop playing. Don't grind. You spend money or you stop playing. You load your auto and you get off for the day. Why actively grind? There's nothing to buy with leaves. Well, now there is. Legendary stones. And I hope they're very expensive. That's mostly to respect the people who spend money in the game. And also to preserve the fact that we might not need another tier if that's the case. If they give them to us really cheap, it means all the free-to-plays are going to get the legendary stones really quickly. And it means there's going to be another tier. So it's not going to feel as sweet. But that's just my thoughts on it. Thank you so much for listening to my rant and the news on the non-clickbait legendary stones coming for leaves, the gold leaf shop, coming up with the update this week. Tell your friends. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I got a huge series coming up, more videos to come. I'm trying to crank them out as quickly as possible, and of course, I will be live on twitch.tv/fishy tonight. Thank you so much for your time. You could be anywhere on the internet, but you're hanging out with me in Maplestory M Town, baby. Legendary stones for golden leaves. Finally. I'll talk to you soon. Catch you on the next video. Peace.